Welcome back to Ahead of the Game. It's Sports Pairs Jez and Ryan Tuck's Sports Takes here for bets.com.au.
Don't
Yeah.
ever sing again in the intro, mate. Don't do it. Wipe that fucking grin off your face.
Just trying to get in and out quick. That was what I failed
That's what
to
she
do
said?
last episode. Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh.
That's what I said.
Yeah. That's what happened.
That's what happened. That's the reality of the situation.
That's right. It's the reality of being a 35 to 40-year-old man.
Yeah, got to focus on the important things in life. It's like talking about sport. That's the important thing in life.
Yes, sir.
Today,
Yes, sir.
I want to get into Premiership hangovers. The Panthers, seems like all of their hangovers is coming at once. It's a thing, we know a thing or two about hangovers.
Also, being a 35 to 40-year-old man, get all your hangovers at once.
Exactly.
Every time you have 4 beers.
And we haven't had GPT KO for a while, so we're going to run that one on the Wednesday. It's good. Got a good matchup. AFL theme on that one today.
Could be a smoky for the whole title, maybe, the winner of this. Going to go a long way, I reckon. I'm excited.
Cool. All right, let's get into Premiership hangovers. We had a bit of a chat about this one offline before, and the Premiership hangover is something that I've been writing about the last couple of years, primarily with AFL, and you see it across multiple sports. The team that wins the comp sometimes fail to back it up the year after. And it's been the question about the Penrith Panthers for a number of years. Will they be able to back it up? And Jez, they're on the bottom of the ladder, 8 rounds in. Has it all come to an end?
Yeah, first time since 2019, if you throw the question to Google. And funnily enough, that 2019 was the last time they lost, I think, 3 in a row. The last time they didn't make the grand final. Obviously, last time they didn't make the postseason or the finals. So, yeah, it's not looking great. Like, I thought maybe they're going to be back a couple of weeks with Cleary back in, and then they bombed again last week. So it's
a question of this is like we spoke about when you're an old dude like us and you go out and it feels like you get 14 hangovers at once because they've just like built up. Your tolerance has disappeared. Is it the same for the Panthers, that the hangover that they maybe should have had somewhere through this dynasty era has all just come at once because they're at the bottom? They're shit.
Yeah. And you think, I don't know, it's the same when you get it the first time, or when you start to feel like you're just like, okay, it's going to go. It'll disappear. I'm going to be all right. I'll pull through. And you just can't drag your ass off the couch for 2 days. So, yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know. Are you saying, though, you're making the call that they're done and they're not going to make finals?
I mean,
is that why we're having this conversation today? That we're putting a line through them?
I think no, probably not, because you look at the ladder and
don't be a pussy.
They're only two wins outside of So the 8th place Manly Sea Eagles are on 8 points. The Panthers are on 4. And the Panthers are yet to have their bye. So Manly haven't either, and the Sharks haven't either. So
you take away one of their losses and give them a win, and they're 12th.
Yeah,
13th.
But it just feels like the way they play, and we spoke about it, I think, just in our sports conversations earlier in the week about their defensive presence isn't the same as what it has been. And that, I don't know if that's something that they can fix to be the type of team they were, but it also means that, they could fix it and still be the 8th best defensive team in the league, which would be enough for them to make the 8 and be a fantastic attacking team with Cleary and Dylan Edwards and Isaiah Yeo and Liam Martin and Toto and all those guys. So I'm a little bit hesitant to draw a line through them, but it's given us a great opportunity at this point of the season to say they're in a premiership hangover because they're bottom of the ladder. They've won 4 in a row, premierships, and they stink. They stink.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stench coming from the Penrith area.
It's like in reality of life.
But I can say that because that's where I'm from.
Yeah, from behind the leagues club. All the stench from there. But like, I don't know. It's interesting because like I just went back to sort of see, all right, what was their differential? Like I think we look at this in the NFL a bit, where it's like, okay, well, how much do teams win by? And it has sort of like, it got drawn to that because my first thought was, okay, well, how much were they winning by? You know, they had the best defensive team in the competition, and they have had that for the last few years, where I think their points conceded average was around sort of between 15 or less over the last few years. And like their points differential is obviously pretty impressive. But at the end of last year, it was at 186, which was 4th best in the NRL. So they're not like, well, like they're still 4th best in the NRL, but I have just in my head that there was they were relying on their defense so much to win games, and they were sort of, you know, I think it'd be interesting to see how many games they won 1 to 12 and 13 plus, because in that aspect, I think you would see that they're relying on their defense a lot, and then they're winning games because they play that grind type of football, and now that they don't have that defense, the hole is too big for them to get out of. I think a lot of the times it felt like, you know, they could go in, they could be sort of neck and neck coming into half time, or, you know, a slight lead, or even be slightly behind. But you knew, okay, by the 60th minute, they're going to start turning the game, and all the grind that they put in, all the hard work they put in the first half was going to pay off. But it doesn't feel like they're doing that. They're not winning the territory battle. They're not playing that same game in attack, which is making it harder for them, I think, in defense, because teams have more energy. They're able to attack. Or maybe it's just, all right, it's been 4 years. Everybody started to work out sort of the Cleary system, and now they've lost a little bit of their, obviously the budget gets bigger, and you got to lose you guys. You lost Luai, you lost Taruva, you know, they've lost Alamotti. Like they've lost players that they've relied on through certain parts of this run, and it has to go bust all of a sudden. Like, you know, so.
But I think as well,
it's the system, it's the salary cap system that also plays a role in this. You can't be dominant for so long. Years. And even when Melbourne was dominant, I think in the middle of this reign where Melbourne has like had these runs, there was a year where they may have even got the wooden spoon. There was a year in the middle of it where it all just fell to shit, and then they were able to build again. Like,
I think their wooden spoon was because of a indiscretion in their books, but the Roosters had one of those.
What
years.
do you mean?
They definitely had it, that they went from, I think, being one of the most dominant teams 3 years in a row, then I think they won the wooden spoon, or were one of the last place teams in the league, and then the year after won the comp. So
there you go.
It's and I like to relate between the codes as well. The AFL it happens quite often in the AFL, because they have, if you look at the teams that are consistently winning competitions, well, it's not the same team. There are, you know, there's been a lot of different premiers over the last few years. 3 of the last 4 years, if you discount this year, so 24, 23, 22, 21, 3 of those 4 premiers all missed the finals the year after. You look back at Essendon won it in 2000, haven't been back since. I think to finals.
Western Bulldogs, I have in my head as well, that they did a very, very similar thing, struggled to make the finals for a few years. Did they make it last year? Well, they just missed out. They might have just made it.
They missed. 2016, they won the comp. They missed out the year after. Geelong won it in 22, missed 23. Collingwood won 23 and missed 24. Brisbane don't look like doing that this year. They're on song. But it also begs a little bit with Penrith that you have to think about the more they lose at the beginning of the season, the less margin they have to go on a losing run towards the end of the season, which is what happened a little bit with Collingwood last year. They lost the first 3 games. Then they won 6 of the next 7 to really boost that up. But then they had a shocking kind of third of the season where they lost 5 of their last 9 and essentially put them out of contention. So
they just missed it on the last day of the comp, I think, last year. Didn't they? Was that free?
I don't know. No, because they won their last 2 games, but I think it was already teams around them were they didn't control their own destiny, so to speak. So,
and then poor old Sydney this year, huh? Sydney won the minor premiership and now absolutely struggling. But struggling with injury, but
injuries, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Papley makes such a difference to that team.
Yeah.
His energy on the field and the way he runs through, and you can't expect Nick Blakey to do everything from the back line. You need to have that right across the field to be successful. Okay, now it is time for GPT KO. We haven't done it in a few weeks, so it's exciting to have this one back. Let's bring up the bracket, and we'll also see who is matching up in today's matchup. Yeah, great use of vocabulary there. So your audio is out. What'd you say?
So that's why we're at the top.
Yeah, that's why we're at the top. All right, Harley Reid and Bailey Smith.
Problems, vocabulary problems.
Well, it's just that I haven't, there's so many different things in this this software we use, and when I cut to this graphic, our audio doesn't automatically follow along. So I have to put it in manually, and that's why there are shortcuts, but I
don't want to hear your excuses. Time. I just want solutions, mate.
Harley Reid and Bailey Smith are going to be matching up in this matchup. And the winner will go on to take on Daly Cherry Evans. So it's a bit of a AFL NRL fight down the bottom left corner of this bracket. So let's get into it. Oh, that's not where we want to be. Here is where we want to be.
Here we go.
It's been a while since we had a GPT KO matchup, and this week we're pitting 2 young AFL stars against each other. Harley Reid and Bailey Smith, young stars full of talent and a don't care attitude. Players that only fans of their own club love, everyone else loves to hate. You would agree with that?
Yeah, 100%.
They've been giving it to opposition fans in the stands, both being reprimanded by the AFL for doing so. There's blood in the water and the Sharks are circling. Smith moved on from the Bulldogs, the team that drafted him, to achieve glory with the Cats. While Reid is a struggling organisation with rumours he wants out. The rumour could have just been me writing that to make it look good in GPT KO. But where will this end up? All right.
Do you think Harley Reid moves on?
I think so. There's no way that... I don't know, I think it's going to be 10 years before West Coast are competitive again at like a premiership competition level, and whether or not he's going to be, if that fits his timeline or not.
All right. Oh, thinking hard about this one, creating the suspense. Pretty boy versus powerhouse, the next gen grudge match. All right, let's get stuck in.
2 of the AFL's most box office young guns step into the cage, and there's no filter, no PR manager, and no tribunal to save them now. Harley Reid, the blue-collar bull with a mean streak and jet-packed legs, takes on Bailey Smith, the flashpoint fitness king with model looks and a history of giving 0 Fs.
Oh. Oh.
They've both taunted fans and they've both made headlines, and now they're about to throw hands. Let's break it down. All right, Jazz, over to you.
All right, let's get ready to rumble. Been waiting to do that my whole life. Tail of the tape. Harley Reid, 19 years old, 187 centimeters, 92 kilograms, built like a brick with a mullet that screams country tough. Doesn't back down, thrives in chaos, and has the kind of explosive power that can flip a game or a fight. Raw, fearless, and looks like he enjoys pain. Bailey Smith, 23 years old, 185 centimeters, 86 kilograms. A walking Instagram highlight reel. Abs of steel, elite endurance, and a confidence dialed up to 11. Has already weathered media storms, switched clubs, and still walks with swagger. Fights like he parties, fast, loud, and not afraid to go for broke. I feel like all these last 3 years of reading children's stories is paying off right now. Reading this,
taking you to this point.
Yeah. I've been training for this without even knowing I've been training for it.
I don't feel there's a clear winner here so far.
No,
I think the physical aspect Harley maybe has, but Bailey has a little bit more experience on him, and
a little bit more crazy.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, it's a bit of a breakdown first. I'll take the first one. Aggression. Harley's a forward-leaning steam train. Bailey's a reactive striker who'll wait for the social media moment. Go ahead.
Stamina. Smith's fitness is elite. He'll still be throwing hands in round 5.
Get going.
Mindset. Reid's still got a point to prove. Smith doesn't care if you hate him. He expects it. The mental steel could be the difference. I'm excited. I told you. I knew this one was going to be a massive battle. This is huge.
All right.
And whoever wins this beats the shit out of Cherry Evans in the next round.
They're going to have to take on Ovechkin later.
Cherry's going to get all he deserved from fucking backflipping on the Titans all those years ago. I'm going to love it. I'm reading that one. I'm ready.
All right. Final verdict. Reid starts hot. A flurry of high-impact, shoulder-first bombs. Smith absorbs, dodges, and baits him into overcommitting. Suddenly, boom! Smith lands a counter hook that would make Dangerfield blush. From there, it's precision over power, and Bailey Smith wins via technical knockout in round 3. He painting his nails at the time, apparently, there. He takes the hits, plays the long game, then finishes it with the flair of a man who already booked a photo shoot after the fight. Yeah.
Whoa. All right. The poster boy. We've got the poster boy of Chat GPT KO right there. Mr. Bailey Smith. Well done.
Wow. 7 down, 1 to go. GPT knows what's going on here in the bracket.
Yeah. Have you put in the photo of the bracket, or it's just reading your computer?
No, it just knows. Knows too much.
Yeah. You know too much, ChatGPT, you dirty dog.
All right. Harley Reid, Bailey Smith will go on to meet Cherry Evans, where the winner of that will meet the winner of Alex Ovechkin and Ron Artest. That's going to be a tough battle. Imagine Bailey Smith versus Alex Ovechkin.
Oh, man. That's tough.
We still need this final one up in the top right-hand corner to take on Max Verstappen. Something in motorsport or something in that's... Yeah, I don't know.
What have we got? This week, there's only Formula 1. Could be MotoGP. We should find something in supercars. Yeah, let's find
Mark
something.
Scaife and Craig Lowndes.
Boy. I don't know. You got to find someone that's going to be a shot against Verstappen, I think. You might have to go... Yeah,
Scaife is a big dude.
Yeah, but Scaife, you know how old they are, man. Like, I don't remember a time when V8 supercars was going around when like Scaife wasn't there.
Wasn't driving, yeah.
Yeah, it's like and like Garth Tander.
He was
can
even
take off his
next. He's
glasses.
next gen, right? After he was the one
Yeah, yeah.
generation
I'm pretty
after
sure.
Scaife.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure like they teamed up early in like at Bathurst or something. I don't know.
So Tander's 48 years old, born 77. And Scaife's 58, born 67. So 10 years difference between those two.
Yeah, but they must have overlapped at some stage there.
Yeah, but I think,
Right.
so Scaife was at his peak when Tander started coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like the era when I started like watching supercars. It was like, I think when Scaife was winning everything, and then Tander started to come in. Yeah, could be an interesting battle.
We'll have to sleep on it. Got a week till the next one.
All right.
Don't forget to check out bets.com.au for all your game previews. NRL, AFL, Supercars, F1, racing. Even Big Adam doing some racing videos on the channel now. Bets.com.au YouTube. It's good.
Check it out. But first things first, get your priorities straight. Hang with us and stay ahead of the game. It was really